Seems like we have a few people from Nigeria. Okay, I think we have everyone. So let's go. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Motoko Bootcamp. I hope you are excited because I am excited. This is our first session, so I will be explaining what is Motoko Bootcamp, what is your goal, and how you can achieve your goal this week. So let's go. The goal of this week, so you are charged with a mission, and your mission is to build a DAO. So it can look something like this. I will be explaining a bit more during the week what exactly you need to build. But the idea is that we have this technology, we have the internet computer, and we can control applications with DAOs. And this is a moment to experiment. I don't have all the answers. I don't know how DAOs are going to be used in the future, what exactly is the best way to use them. But I know, and we know that this is going to be a game changer. So the idea is that you experiment and you have to build a project related to DAOs. So you have 7 days to do that, and you will be submitting your project until you have until the end of the week, so until Sunday midnight, essentially, to create and submit your project. And this is how you get to the graduation. So this is the Motoko Bootcamp diploma that you might receive at the end of the week. We are right now building on-chain infrastructure. So we have the diploma will be minted on the internet computer. It will give you access to some special channels and special chat rooms. And we are collaborating with projects in the ecosystem to give value. So maybe job opportunities or even airdrops and so on. And so you get this diploma if you build your DAO. And that's the only thing that matters. All the rest is optional. It's very, very recommended, as you will see. We have different types of sessions. We have like lectures, brainstorming session, smaller projects that will be helpful for you. But if there is only one thing you need to do, it's build your DAO. And so the project requirement is on the repository. I will show you later. There is a whole document that explains what are the requirements and what you need to do, what you are authorized to do, and what you are not authorized to do. That you might receive, yeah, because you have to work for it. So, okay. Now all the rest is there to help you achieve this goal that we've set. So we have everything that you need to achieve the goals. We have mentorship sessions, we have workshops, we have templates. So templates are code base that you can use to get started. You have troubleshooting. So if you have a question, you can ask on Discord. I'll be there to answer. You have daily guides. So every day you have a document that you can use to help you, I would say, navigate. And you have the levels. So I will explain one by one each of those resources, how you can use them and how you can find them. So let's start with the daily guides. And for that, I need to go to the repository. So the main piece here is this repository. And this one. I'll be sending the link in the chat, and it will be in the comment section if you are watching this on YouTube. So this repository contains all the resources and all the links that you need for this week. And you will see that the repository has a special structure. You have assets. So those are like pictures and images. You don't really need that. You have lessons. I will explain later what are the lessons for. And you have levels. So that's the thing you need to care about are the levels. We have 6 levels. Level 0 to 5 are essentially building pieces for the level 6. The level 6 is the most important one because it corresponds to the graduation and it's the project that you have to build. All the rest is step-by-step guidance for you. So, for example, let's take a look at the level 1. So level 0 is a bit special because it corresponds to the workshop. Some of you already joined the workshop. Some of you already deployed their first application. If you've already done that, you can skip level 0. If you haven't, you need to check level 0. So each level corresponds to a day. Essentially, on day 1, you should be working on level 1. On day 2, you should be working on level 2. Of course, if you are faster, like if you finish level 5 on day 2, that's really good for you. And that's just an indication for you of the pace you should follow. But if you fall behind or if you are faster, don't worry, it's you can catch up anytime. So for example, for day one, we have this guide and you have a list of tasks. So you need to join a team today. You need to have your environment set up and you need to complete the project of this level. So each level has an associated project and submit this project on the dashboard. Then you have all the resource for this level. So this is all the lectures that we will have today. We will go for an introduction to building with Motoko, introduction to DFX, why and how to build a DAO, and we will build level 1 together. And then you have also resource. So those resources are like, text essentially. You can click here and see and read all of this. It explains a lot, and so those are the lessons, and they are very, very important because they contain a lot of knowledge that you need to have. And then you have the list of concepts. So essentially, this is the list of things you need to understand for this day. You can read this at the end of the day. If you read all of this, so understand what is a canister and how to deploy one, understand what are cycles and how to top up your canister. Essentially, at the end of each day, you should read that and you should be, okay, I know approximately what it is. I feel confident with this topic. I can move to the next level. And you will see also some Motoko pill. Every day you have a little pill about Motoko, and you have a meme for each day. So that's the daily guides I was talking about. One per day, it's the requirements for the day. So you have the list of tasks you need to be doing each day, and you have a list of educational resources that are, of course, adapted for this day. Oops. Then we have and I should call that project actually. So each day you will also have a project here. So as you can see, you have the README, which is the guide, and you have this project folder, and then project.markdown file. So every day you have an associated project. You can read about it. Level 1 is about what is your dream. So you need to read the introduction and you need to do the mission. And then you have a list of tasks. So those are essentially Motoko functions and variables and code that you will have to write. And then you have the interface which corresponds to the interface of your canister. Essentially, you will need to complete the code that is here. So essentially you will see that essentially what you have here corresponds to the code in main.mo. So this is the file for your canister that you need to complete. So those are small projects that you have one every day. And actually, those are corrected projects. So you have the solution here. I won't show you anything. I recommend that you try on your own, at least for 30 minutes, 1 hour. And then if you are stuck, of course, you can check the solution. Level 0 to level 5 are all corrected. So those are essentially examples and modules that you can use for your final projects. As I said in the beginning, the only thing that matters is the final project in the end. The rest is just there to help you. Yeah, no cheating, it's better. Of course, you are going to learn way more and way faster if you really try each level. Those are there to help you for one reason. But of course, if you are stuck for like 2 or 3 hours and you have no idea how to start, you can take a look and then try on your own. So that's it for the levels. And those levels, you need to submit them on the dashboard. So how to do that? Well, you need to go to motokobootcamp.com. You need to log in with your internet identity. I have seen some problem. Some people have some issues with the internet identity. If you have some issues, please reach out to me and we will find a solution. So you log in. Make sure to keep track of your internet identity because you will need it for the whole week. And then, so you will see that you have level 0, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. And essentially, you can click here. It will bring you to the repository. So that's, what I've shown you, the mission and the daily guide. So assuming you are doing everything for this level, then you will deploy your canister and you will receive a canister ID. So it's a suite of strings and characters, and you need to submit that. So for example, let's say I want to submit level 2. I will put my canister ID here, then I click on submit. It will take around 10 to 20 seconds. And then if your project is correct, it will validate it and you can move to the next level. Then you will also see, you will improve on the dashboard. You will see that you will complete each level and it will appear here. And you also have your profile. So here you have some information about your email, GitHub, your role. So your role is going to be student. Whenever you graduate, you will change to graduate, but it should be student for the whole week. If you haven't completed level 0, you will be candidate. So make sure that you complete level 0 to move to student. And then you have your principal ID. So it corresponds to your identifier on the platform. Okay. So that's it for the dashboard. And let's go back to the presentation. So you have one project per day. You have a list of tasks to follow to implement this project, and you need to submit it on the dashboard. So your canister ID needs to be on the internet computer mainnet. So you need to deploy on the mainnet and not locally, because if you deploy locally, the dashboard cannot verify that your project has been deployed. So I will explain how you deploy on the internet computer. We will do it in the sessions of today. But yeah, just to keep that in mind, you need to deploy on the mainnet. Okay, so next thing is the mentorship sessions, and we have one every day. And so just in case, we have the Motoko Bootcamp calendar. You can find the link to the calendar either on the dashboard. So here you have the calendar, or you can also find it on our Discord. And here you have information. So those are all the information for this week. And you have the Motoko Bootcamp calendar here. If you want to add the calendar to your personal calendar, you can click here and it will automatically notify you of the time of the sessions. So every day we have a mentorship session, except for today, because this is the first day. You will see these mentorship sessions, they are here. And essentially they are 1 hour session per day. They are optional, but very recommended because I will be there for 1 hour and I will just answer your questions. You will share your code if you are stuck, if you have something that doesn't compile, or if you have a problem, any kind of issue, you will be able to share your screen and I will be there to essentially debug you. So those are the mentorship sessions, and those are the best ways to, get unlocked or answer any question that you have. Then if we are not in the mentorship session and you have a question, so like, I don't know, let's say we just passed the mentorship session and then you realize, oh, I have a question, I don't know how to answer it. This is the procedure that we need to follow. So of course, the first thing to do is to look if the question has already been answered or if you can find the answer in the documentation, so in the repository on Discord. And then the second thing is to ask other students. So you will be split into teams for the week. As you can see, you have teams here, and we will be building the teams today. Hey guys, I'm stuck. What should I do? Oops, today. I'm lost. So your team is here to help you. Your team is very important. So this is where you should ask in the first place. Then you also have this ask question feature on Discord. So I've seen already a few people using it. You can post something. You can also read the previous questions because maybe someone had the similar issue in the past and you can find the solution here. Stuck on level 3, and then you select level 3. I have no idea how to finish. Please help. Of course, please make sure that you give more information about why you're stuck, what is the error message that you see, and all sorts of things. The more information you gave me, the easier it will be for me to help you, of course. Okay, and then if you are completely lost and you don't have any answer, you can still send me a DM, but this is like the last resort option. So yeah, that's what I was saying here. If you don't know what to do, you are stuck or you are lost, you don't know where to go, ask your team, review all the resources, and you can DM me in last resort, but try to avoid, because sometimes I receive too much DMs and I don't necessarily have the time to answer to all of them. Okay, so what is the agenda for today? So we have the kickoff ceremony right now. Then we will have a networking session. So here, this is a session of 30 minutes where you will meet with all the students in the bootcamp and you will discuss for 5 minutes. You have a list of questions that will appear and you will just essentially meet up and make connections. Then we have the team building activity. So team building is very important because we will be building the teams and we will be creating the teams. So make sure to join us. This one will be on Discord. I will announce where you need to join. After that, we have our first technical session. So introduction to building with Motoko. It's a 1-hour session. I will be coding. I will be explaining the basis of Motoko, how we can build canisters and how we can deploy them. Then we will be having a break for 2 hours. So that's an opportunity for you to start reading the repository, building your first project, and so on. And then we will be building the level 1 together. So this will be a collaborative session. I will be there. I will be coding and trying out a few things. After that, we have more like presentation and interactive session. We will be talking about the future of work and DAOs, so how we can use DAOs and how we can leverage them to build essentially a better workplace. And this will be less about coding and more about, brainstorming and sharing ideas. And at the end of the day, we have the daily checking. So this is essentially a relaxation session on Discord. I will be there and you just join and tell me what you've done today, what has been hard, how I can help you, if you are stuck or not. And then maybe we will play a game or something like this. And then we repeat each day. You have the same similar structure. In the morning, we have the mentorship session and the lecture about Motoko. Then we have the level of the day, a more speculative session about entrepreneurship and what kind of project we can build, and then the daily checking. So that's the agenda for the week. And let's go back to the presentation. So one last thing I wanted to talk about is TalentDB. So TalentDB is a recruiting agency that supports the bootcamp. We are partnering with them. And so if you want to find a job or if you are looking for job opportunities, make sure to go on our Discord. And here you should see, let me see, is it private or not? No, it's not. Yeah, you should be able to see this channel called Talent Room. And here you can connect with Ben. So, hey, Ben, you can send him a DM. I am looking for X, Y, Z kind of job. You talk with Ben. Ben is our talent lead, and so he knows what kind of startups, what are they looking for at the moment. We have a few open positions, and you can also fill out the form. So yeah, just wanted to touch upon that. And yeah, then that's about it. So how do you get started with the coding side of things? Let me show you. I'll be touching on the coding in the Motoko session, the session in introduction to building with Motoko, but let's get started already, just so you have an idea. How to get started with this repository. So either you run this repository locally, you can clone it and install the Definity Canister SDK locally. You have a guide here to do that. So just click here and set up your environment. If you have any issue, reach out. Otherwise, you can just click here and use Gitpod. So Gitpod is an online environment. Oops. Is an online environment that it's essentially like a coding place, and you don't need to set up anything if you're using GitHub. So that's also easier to get started for you. It takes a few seconds to set up a few things, especially the first time you run it. And then I have access to all the levels. So as you can see, I can go into main.mo. This is level 0, but let's go to level 1. So this is how you could start building level 1. So for example, let's say I will be having one. So I have one tab that is opening with the level. I'm reading the project of the day. Oops. Okay, I'm reading all the introduction, the mission, and the task. And so I need to complete task number 1. Define an immutable variable name of type text that represents the name of your DAO. So let's do it. Let name of type text is equal to Motoko Bootcamp DAO. And then maybe I want to try to return the name and then to deploy my canister, we will be using dfx. So as I've said before, I will be doing a full explanation of dfx and canisters and how to deploy in the introduction to building with Motoko. But just so I can show you the basis, we can do dfx deploy playgrounds and then level, so let's see, level 1. And we will be deploying our canister in the playground. So this is on the mainnet. We have a canister ID here. So let's see. Now I want to try to submit it. I haven't done much actually, so it shouldn't work, but let's say level 1. I submit it. And so yeah, it takes around 20 seconds usually. Maybe we have, okay, yeah. Test failed, test number 2 failed, le manifesto doesn't correspond with test. So apparently there is an issue with my canister, and of course, oops, that's totally normal because I haven't done any of the task except the task number 1. So of course I need to complete all of this and then try to submit again. So this is how you deploy canisters. The command is dfx, dfx deploy playgrounds. So maybe I can zoom a bit so you will see better. This is the command I've run to deploy my first canister. dfx deploy -- playgrounds level 1, level underscore 1. And of course, it would be level 2 for level 2. And you need to go in the main.mo here. That is level 1 project main.mo. And then you need to complete the function. So you will see that you already have existing code. So I've already started the kind of structure of the canister and the Motoko file for you. What you need to do is complete essentially the functions, complete add the variables, and everything that you need to do is explained here. Okay, so what if I miss a session? So if you cannot make it to all the sessions, everything will be recorded and uploaded on YouTube. I'm trying to make it as fast as possible. Like if we have a session in the next 2 or 3 hours, I'm trying to process the recording and upload it to YouTube. We will be uploading everything on the Motoko Bootcamp channel. So if you haven't already, make sure to check out our channel. This is our YouTube channel. This is this one. This one. You have already a few videos. So you have the pitch video about Motoko Bootcamp. What is the DAO? What is Motoko? What is the internet computer? And I will be adding videos into a playlist. I will share the playlist here. Will be Motoko Bootcamp playlist. And I will add all the recordings of all the sessions. So if you miss one session, that's not a problem. Okay, so I've seen some questions. Let's now answer the questions. I think I've touched upon everything I wanted to touch upon. Let me just verify. Where is my... well, I had the paper with everything I wanted to talk about. I don't find it now. Okay. So I've seen some people raise the hand. If you want to talk, you can also raise the hand. Yeah, I should keep my notes on chain, of course. Okay, so I have the questions. First question, the bootcamp will be 7 days in a row. Yes, the bootcamp is from today till Sunday. So Sunday is our last day, and this is when we submit the final project. Oops. Hey. So yeah, you can talk now. Should be able to hear you. Yeah. Hey.
Hello, Seb. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm doing fine. I'm Swin from Nigeria.
Yeah.
And
Well,
actually, I joined a boot camp in my school before I graduated recently in Kwara State University about Motoko Bootcamp and ICP
mhm.
and about the ideating and building a project and all. So since then, I've been trying to get more into building a project with Motoko, and the problem that I usually have is like after breaking down each section of I writing a function about any project that I want to build. Like I usually have problem with writing a function, like building everything together. Like each time I try to run and write a function, I usually like have problem with maybe unbound and all those
Okay.
kind of.
With
So
Motoko?
with Motoko, and because within a few days now, like we have just a few projects that it has to submit. So like maybe I'm trying to, the reason why that is the reason why I'm trying to join this bootcamp now.
Okay,
And
yeah,
another,
welcome to the bootcamp. Don't worry, because we have a lot of sessions about Motoko. Motoko is not a hard language to learn, honestly. It's not hard, but the problem is that there is not good tutorials and documentations. So that's why we have this bootcamp, and I will show you like the common mistakes and how you can fix those problems that you have. There are a few things to know about Motoko because it's a type language. So sometimes you won't compile, and I think that's what you're talking about, like some kind of errors because of the way Motoko has been created. But when you get that, after that, it's really easy to use Motoko. It's just like there is a little barrier, that we will break this week. And actually, so we have all those sessions, like the introduction, the data structures, inter-canister calls, upgrading canister, internet identity. And we have 1, 2, 3, 5 projects that will be corrected. So I will be like coding and showing you examples of how you build a project in Motoko. So that should answer all your questions, I think. And if you still have some problems, reach out on Discord. But yeah, I think this will be very helpful for you.
okay, thank you. And last question before I go.
Yeah.
And another question is that like before I used to have a like basic knowledge about programming, like C programming before I get back to it this year. So last year I started towards HTML, CSS, and I was about to go into JavaScript before I stopped. So for the past few months, like let's 3 or 4 months ago, and since I've started, I joined blockchain and Motoko program of a team. So what I want to ask is that, like, now doing building a project in Motoko, do I still have to learn front end of a thing, or like I can earn a job without learning front end? Because I feel like, to me, I feel like the rising the back end on Motoko and on a blockchain, like it's and doing the logical aspect. I feel great with it, and I love Motoko because of the candid UI. Like I can build, and you know
Yeah.
that's the reason why, like, I don't want to leave it. Like I love how it is. Like I can, and the type, like text, you can text natural it, how you can and go with the storage and everything. That's the reason why, like, I love Motoko.
So yeah, okay. So I had the same issue actually when I started to learn Motoko. I didn't know about web development, so I was not a web developer. I didn't know about JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and I had to learn it. But so you can just learn Motoko and you will do the backend, as you said, the blockchain aspects. But if you want to have like if you are a solo developer and you are working on like portfolio projects, it's always better to have a front end because you will be able to, interact with more users. You will be able to showcase your projects, and it's very important sometimes. Like, um, yeah, when people look at projects, they don't necessarily, if they don't have a background in programming, sometimes they just look at the front end and they think, oh, it's a nice application. So I think full stack is the way to go. Yeah, if you are one man, well, like if you are one developer, and that's usually the case of, when you're starting out, if you still haven't found a job or a team, you will be solo developer. And the only way to move forward is to build projects. And to build projects, you need usually front end and back end. For me, I've decided to learn the basis of front end. And I mean, it took me quite some time, but you don't have to become like an expert. Like you can already do things like, most of the front end word is very repetitive. Like you have to just create like button and add event for the button and then query the data from the backend and print the data. So yeah, you have to learn front end if you really want to build like, usable projects. Like for example, for the Motoko Bootcamp dashboard, I needed a front end. Like I could have done everything from the backend, but that would have been complicated for users to, log in and use the applications. So we will have at the end of the week, on Friday, I will be doing a front-end session. So covering the basis of how to interact from a front-end with a backend. I won't be diving into like Svelte framework or React or anything, but I will be doing the basis of the front-end like side of things. And yeah, this week is focused on Motoko. But if you want to build a front end for your application, this is really good and you should do it. You have a lot of resource on the internet about front end development, like, tutorials. You can even use ChatGPT a lot. You have courses and sample projects. So I hope it answers your question.
Yeah. Thank you. I still even have I even have in knowledge in HTML, CSS, and when one of the what is it called? And I forget about the front end to build the interface, like the one you created, like the bootcamp. I can do all that. But if I have more knowledge about interacting the back end and the front end together, I think that will help.
Yeah, that's where you can build really cool projects, and also as a solo developer. When you will join a team, usually someone will focus, on the front end, someone on the back end. But if you are like just starting out, you usually need to be a full stack developer. But you can be like specialized in either front end or back end. Okay, cool.
Okay. Thank you.
So yeah, you're welcome. So we have a few other questions. Please assist how to sign up on internet computer. I guess you're talking about the internet identity. Yes, I won't touch on that today. I mean, not on this session, but you can drop me a DM, and also we will, at the end of the day, if you still have some issues, we will find another way to track your progress, because the dashboard is just here to track the progress of the students. If I'm not having any problems, can I still join the mentorship sessions to see what other things people might be having problems with? Yes, that's a really good idea. That's my recommendation. Okay, so this has been answered. Can you talk a bit about what the playground is? So yes, the playground is a free environment to use. So you have two ways to use the playground. The first one is to use Motoko Playground. That's what we've done in the level 0. So if you have joined a workshop before, you've already seen this playground. This is essentially a way to deploy applications on the internet computer, but for free. The only limitation of the playground is that when you deploy an application, it will be deleted after 20 minutes. So it's not like forever, but you don't have to pay for it. And so you can just try and deploy. And that's the recommended way to go. For the level 0 to level 5, you can deploy everything in the playground. Then level 6, you will need to deploy outside of the playground, like really deploy, and you will need cycles for that, but we will have the whole week to get those cycles. And yeah, the second way to deploy with the playground is to use DFX. So where is my coding environment? It's here. When we use DFX, we can deploy. So DFX deploy, playground. This is how you deploy in the playground. It's the same thing as doing from the Motoko playground. So yeah, you only have 20 minutes to deploy and test your application. So you need to submit it within the 20 minutes. Okay, so if you skipped level 0, so if you haven't done a workshop, you need to do level 0 because it will move you from candidates in your profile to actual students. So once again, this is here. And yeah, that's the requirements, but it shouldn't take you much time to do level 0. So you can do it today and you should catch up with everyone else. Okay, profile here. You need to have the student role. If you are not a student, you will be probably a candidate. Ah, you did it, but not, okay. You already did it, but you don't see the student role. That's probably because, so the platform, I'm still working on it like day to day. And so you probably did the workshop like 2 weeks before. And so, yeah, you will need to do it again. It should take you like really, really fast if you've already done it. You just need to go here, check level 0, and then submit here. Yeah, as always. Is there any session on chain key cryptography? So chain key cryptography is the cryptography that makes the Internet Computer Protocol possible, and it's really amazing. And we will talk about it probably in the mentorship session. So it's not really like necessary knowledge. Like you don't need to know how the internet computer works, like at this level of details, if you just want to build on it. But of course, it's good to know. And so I will be answering any question about that. We don't have any dedicated session about Shenki. So it will be just like talking about it. There are a few moments I think it will make sense to talk about it, but no dedicated session. I'm only interested in the self-study. I missed the intro. How do we register for self-study only? So if you are just interested in self-study, essentially that's going to be the same. Just you won't be joining a team. So the team is on Discord. And you won't be, you will be just following you will be following the sessions you want, just checking the recordings, but there is no main difference. Like you still need to submit all the projects and you still need to submit your projects at the end of the week. And if you don't have enough time this week, you can submit later, but I will be explaining the self-study better. Like it's still kind of in the process. So I will be creating a document for you. But for the rest, you can just submit on the dashboard like other students. Can both the backend and the frontend be deployed on the IC? Yes, we can deploy backend and frontend. Is it necessary to use VS Code and locals? Can I progress through all levels from the Motoko Bootcamp dashboard? What do you mean VS Code? You mean like the Git pod? So yes, it's necessary to use. So either you have a local setup or you use the Git pod if you don't have time for your local setup. But it's necessary to deploy canisters on the playground or on the mainnet and then submit them on the dashboard. You can use the Git pod to pass level 0 to level 5. For level 6, you will need to deploy, but we have the whole week to get into the details of how you deploy your project forever on the internet computer. Okay, so let's move to the next session. The next session is the networking session. So you just need to join here. You will be matched with other students. I will also be there, so you can talk with me. And you need to just create your profile. So why is it not loading? Do we have more questions or everything is clear? Let's see, why is it? What specifically is the level 6? So the level 6 is the project you need to submit at the end of the week. It's the final one. So it's the most important one. The main difference is that level 0 to level 5, those are corrected. Like I will be there to support you. Every day we will be doing one together. And those are more like training. Level 6 is the real deal because it's the final project you need to submit. And this is the where you need to essentially be more creative. Like the other levels, you will see, I will guide you, like what kind of functions you need to build, what kind of interface and everything. The level 6 is more open, so you have more space. You can experiment with different projects. And it's more complicated, because you have to take your own decisions and build your own application. The link to the calendar, yes, is on Discord. Here, you have the link here. So yeah, I can send it. Yes, after level 0. Level 0 you can do from the playground. The rest you cannot do it from the playground. So you probably use this. This one. And this is for level 0 only. This is to just make things easier in the beginning, but then you need to use the VS Code environment. Okay, so I think the link was not good. I will change that. So you will open this page and you just need to, so you need to save your mic, of course, your speaker, and then you can add your profile. So you can add some information about you. We have 10 minutes before the session starts. So I'm Seb, I do Motoko Bootcamp, and I love Web3 and DAOs. So you can select a few information. You can put your job if you have one. The team, we still haven't done the team, so you don't really have to Oops. Oh, there is not. Oh, whatever. Yeah, so you can just put a few informations and so on. Oops. Yeah, you can create your WhatsApp group, but just so you know, we will use Discord. So this is where we will have the teams, and we will be doing the teams today, creating the teams today. You will be assigned to one of those teams. So we have 5 teams, and that's where you guys will be talking. So I can keep an eye on what's going on, and I can help you in any case. Okay, so let's meet in the networking session. Make sure to be there. I will be there. There will be 5 minutes networking with everyone. We have 5 minutes to complete our profile. And yeah, good luck, everyone. This is going to be a very intense week, like a lot of things to learn, a lot of things to build. But if you are there, if you are motivated, you can do it in 1 week. You can really go from like not knowing a lot about Web3 to essentially being like a fully set up and fully ready to surf the wave. Good luck, everyone. I see you in the networking session. Bye.